Gurmagat. Last Ceann Comhairle is buise de segus cáineasnéis a léirín aspas fís nach bhfuil ún bhéanach agus nar ire nach bhfuil éon crut orthaí. Atá gan túram mór, gan plán mór agus in ár ire nach méid éon rianda nó éon tionachar aige go fád tearmach. Minister, Budget 2025 has shown us that this is a government that is out of time and, in my view, out of ideas to fix the problem in our society. I have heard the government try and take the narrative of, or the rhetoric of, the future in terms of their budget. But the truth is that the legacy of this budget will disappear like snow in a ditch. The fact is that this is a budget that is about today and not tomorrow. Because the difference when you match the Sinn Féin budget that we would have brought forward against the government's budget is on a massive scale. The Sinn Féin budget would have delivered much greater capital spending, not only in housing and in health, but also crucially in terms of the energy sector and in terms of climate change, on multiple scales what the government was proposing to spend. The fact is that much of the government, there is no disputing. I have not heard a single speech for all the spiky responses from the government benches. I have not heard a single speech from any part of the opposition that has disputed the fact that the government has spent a lot of money. The government has spent a lot of money. That is not disputed. The question is, when you have the good fortune to spend a lot of money, what vision do you have, what legacy do you leave, and what are the choices that you make? The fact is that the government have made the choice to focus its tax cuts that somebody on 150,000 will earn 3 times the kind of tax cut that somebody on 40,000 will make. The government has made the choice to give a tax cut to landlords, one that everyone, as far as we can see, in the department has rubbished and raised concerns about, that former ESRI experts have outlined as the stupidest tax relief that they have ever heard, and that with the bar being set quite high. The fact is that the government have decided to continue very favourable tax regimes for the banks and for other categories of people, and instead has failed to make the investments that were necessary. What the government could have done, and as I say, I don't dispute the fact that there has been a lot of money spent. What the government could have done is really properly tackle, at long last, and I agree with Deputy Eoin O'Brien that the government has raised the white flag, and I know the government have tried to dispute this, but the fact is that the government keeps on backing policies that are not working, that are making the situation worse, and will not deliver the scale of social and affordable housing that will be necessary. The government could have delivered, or begun to deliver, €10 a day childcare. And turning to my own portfolio, the government could have begun the process, or committed to, abolishing the means test on carers allowance. What they have in fact done is, where other people will feel the benefit of the budget, those who don't currently qualify for carers allowance will not see the benefit of increasing threshold until June. And I would ask you, Minister, to bring that forward to January. I think that people with disabilities deserved a great deal more. We have spent a year talking about the additional cost of disability in terms of the Green Paper and so on, with the Minister's flawed proposals, to her credit, that she has withdrawn, but she has done nothing in this budget to recognise the additional cost of disability. The increase for people on disability payment should have been €20 at the very least, rather than allowing them at the base rate. Clearly there needed to be a recognition of the increased costs of disability. Sinn Féin would have increased the income threshold for carers to €730 for a single person and €1,460 for a couple, much beyond what the government is doing, a substantial step towards abolishing the means test. We would have also introduced a pay-related carers benefit, which I think is something that the Minister should be considering. The Minister spent some time there talking and saying that people are giving out about child benefits. Certainly not us. We had already advocated a double payment. What's more, Minister, is that child benefit is still below where it was at in 2008, when it was cut by Fianna Fáil on the back of austerity and paying off the banks. And it has not got back up to that level, and we haven't seen an increase in 4 or 5 years. We would have increased that by €10. Minister, while I would welcome some of the measures, ones that we would have demanded, and some of them for many years, including free school books and the school meals, long-standing policies that Sinn Féin would have advocated. And there are objectives that we have put forward that the government has listened to. It's clear that the government has read the Sinn Féin alternative budget. But ultimately, in terms of vision, in terms of where this leaves Ireland in 12 months or 2 years or 12 years, I don't think the legacy is there.